to me, there are three key things to think about when you're going to put some level of AI into your CX flow, which is communicating with those customers, right? The first is the actual engine you're using. That's really a bit like the human brain you've got in your head at the moment. Okay, that's probably the easiest bit, to be honest, because that's being trained a lot. There's plenty of people out there that do those things. The second bit is the data. Okay, if you're going to put a simple knowledge bot on the front of your entry in to answer those low-hanging fruit questions, then you need data to be able to do that. So we need to know what that knowledge is. We need to understand it. It doesn't have to be super structured, but it has to have some level of structure with it. And if there's bad data in there, then potentially the bad data could be used. So you do have to think about that, which is why you sort of start small. And then the last thing is, if there's any business process you want to achieve, then the rules of that business process need to be understood. Okay, so and if you think about it, that's no different than any agent you have today. Okay, so when you're training an agent to come on board and start servicing your customers within the contact center, you teach them to use their brain, to be able to run a process, and you show them where the data is. Now, the great thing about a human is that we know how to look for bad data and how to bring in some empathy and things like that. But the technology is catching up really, really fast. Okay, and as a vision, there is the possibility very shortly to be able to do a lot of this up front. But I would never take the human out of the loop, ever. At the end of the day, the human has that ability to be able to see things that just technology can't see. It also has a way to empathize with people in different ways as well, and everybody responds differently. And I'm responding a little bit to a question that's come in the chat there, right? So for that high value interactions, for those things that require that human touch, you should elevate into a human interaction. But what you're really doing is giving you the ability to be able to take some of that mundane, everyday questions, those queries that are really easy to service, that are sitting there, probably taking 30, 40, 50% up of your interactions on the front end in a self-service fashion,